Hey guys, Carly, Bunny's Garage. I'm just going to do a bit of a video on a new project that I picked up yesterday. Um, so yeah, just because I haven't really got enough to do at the moment, you know. So yeah, anyway, I've seen this thing pop up on Marketplace and just had to have it. So yeah, I'll grab some shit and I'll give you a look. See you shortly. Right, back again. As I was saying, this little project popped up on Marketplace. And yeah, there was a couple of shitty little photos of it sitting in the corner of a shed. And yeah, I just kind of liked the colour, liked, the whole look of it. Thought I had a bit of potential. It's a bit rougher than what I was expecting. Well, I knew it was going to be rough, being sitting around. So yeah, it has deteriorated, but yeah, anyway, enough of my ugly face. This is what I brought. Right, it's a 1923, well, that's fiberglass, so it's not from 1923, but based on a 23 T bucket. Little old hot rod. Yeah, it's just got a, I think it was a 305 and power glide. I just chucked all these covers on, and this manifold's just sitting there. Chucked all that on yesterday because it had these ugly ones here and a 2-barrel manifold on it. I'm not actually going to keep this motor in it. It hasn't been run for years, and it's only a 305. So, and it needs to come out and get painted and everything else. So it's much easier just to turn around and rob this motor. Alright, 350, turbo 350. I might still use the power glide that's in there, I'm not sure yet. Because this is just going to be something just to have a bit of fun in. So yeah, not sure, because that trans there is going to go into the Oldsmobile over there eventually, when I get around to it, when I stop buying shit. But yeah, here it is. So yeah, 305 power glide, 9-inch stiff, and the rest is, you can basically see what it is. Alright, interior's there. It's a bit rough, started to wear, from sitting around. Just had shit leaning up against it and ripped the back of the seat there. Yeah, but it's all there. Ugly ass shifter out of some unknown thing. Yeah, it's got all the dash here, all the gauges still in it. Even has a key with an old lotto. Pick your lotto numbers on there. Yeah, if you guys in New Zealand, you'll know. I bet you've seen one of these around before. Hey, old lotto from BP. Quite cool. But yeah, like I said, it's basically all there. They have lost a few bits and pieces over the years because it got pulled apart, and the chassis sat in an open shed for years and years. The motor sat covered up somewhere, and the bucket sat in can't remember what cabin. It was a pub, old pub. Used to sit up on a mezzanine floor. So I think it was above the bar or the toilets or something. Had a bit of mezzanine up there, and the bucket sat up there on display for years, I reckon. So yeah, when they drunk at that pub, would have seen it before. But yeah, it just basically it hasn't been on the road. Last registered it in 1992. Yeah, the old warrant. So it's been off the road for years, as you can see. Whole front end, all these arms and everything all used to be chrome, but yeah, the chrome's just peeling off. It's all gone. There's a steering arm there with a steering rack. It's actually a Morris Minor steering rack. Alright, we've got Morris Minor, the old weird shocks on the front of it. Alright, see in there, strange looking bloody things, but kind of a cool look to it, eh? So I'm going to keep them on. It's probably not that nice to drive, but I just like the look of it. Looks cool, old school. Alright, got a nice radiator surround. It's chrome once again. You know, rust is getting into it. It's got a nice little Ford stamped in it. But yeah, the rust is just getting into it. They've lost the blue. Had a big thing, you know, for your radiator cap. Chrome calipers, which are seen better days. Headlights are lost, which is a good thing. So I have seen a picture of it when it was first built. Ugly. It had square headlights, like spotlight looking things. Not the go. So yeah, all pipes are all rusted away. Well, they're actually still solid, they're just covered in crap and rust. They used to be white originally. It's got a nice window surround. Same with the rear end. All these rear arms, shocks, diff, your backing plates and that, a few brakes, all that was chrome once upon a time. But yeah, it's all seen better days now. It's all just flaked off and turned to shit. Used to have a tow bar on it. Apparently they used to tow a little pop top camper. It's got some ugly ass little tail lights on it. That's one thing I hate. I like trailer ones, but you know, they're there so they can stay there. Fuel tank's gone. Little roll bar, which ain't bolted on. Everything's sort of just sitting there at the moment. Yeah, it's got a little wiper up here, and it has actually got a roof over here. Right, so it's got the full roof that clips on. Got little diamond shapes for back windows, and it just clips on around here. Clips on across the top of the windscreen there. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Except they've lost the bows for the roof to hold the roof, the back of the roof up. They've lost all that. So I have to get them made up. But yeah, it would have been a cool bucket in those days. Well, I've seen photos of it, and it was. But yeah, all the rims are chrome, but fucking turned to shit. They've lost the hubcaps for the back. Both back ones are missing. Yeah, nice little chrome hubcaps. So kind of like an old school looking thing, which is here I'm going to build it. I'll probably leave that body, even though the body's a bit shit. And it's got a bit hot from the exhaust. Fried up the paint, chips and scratches and all sorts of shit all over it, but I like it. It's rough. So what my plan is, I'll probably leave that body for now, until I can get someone to sort of replicate what's on there. Alright, because I'll redo it yellow again. I reckon it looks cool yellow in this orangey reddy colour. And it's got a cool sort of thing, you know, just the old school hot rod look. It suits it. So I'll leave the body for now. Until I can get someone to replicate all this, and I'll repaint it yellow and do all this stuff again. Hopefully, you know, I can talk the brother-in-law into doing it, because he's, you know, got way more talent than I have when it comes to shit like this. Hey Dave, check him out too. D-Mac Customs, built some cool, does some cool things, eh? Yeah, pinstriping, painting. He's building a pretty cool 51 Chev at the moment. Airbagged, LS. Check him out, D-Mac Customs. Anyway, that's enough for you. Back to this. But yeah, that's it. So my plan is I'm just going to pull it apart today. We'll start pulling it apart. I'm going to pull the body off, just put the body off over in the corner over there. Alright, get the body off, then I'll get the motor and box out, put that somewhere, find a gap for it, can just go elsewhere. And then I'll get it up on stands. I've got some nice high stands, so I'll get up on stands, drop the whole front end out, all the steering, diff, everything, just get it down to a bare chassis and start again. Alright, doesn't need any chassis work, it's still a good solid well built chassis. So I'm just gonna basically strip it down to a bare chassis and we'll start again. Alright, just gonna set in black the chassis. I don't want it shiny, so we'll set in black that, and then all these arms, all the stuff that headlight brackets, all these arms, whole front end, rear end, all that stuff that used to be chrome, I'm going to do in like a I don't know, I suppose you'd call it like an aluminium sort of, silvery grey colour. So I'll do all that colour, chassis black, satin black, and leave the body for now. And just go through, get all the brakes working, because the calipers will be shit. Rear, we'll need fucking wheel cylinders in the back, kits in the front calipers. Those little Morris Minor shocks will need to be rebuilt, because they're a bit seized up. The rest of it's just going through, and if it needs any kind of bushing or anything, we'll put new bushes in it. I think the rear shocks will be sweet. They're just old, but they'll do. And then it's just basically tidy everything up. Paint shit like the roll bar again, and just give this interior a good scrub. Even though it's got a few holes and it's come apart from under here, it just needs to be pulled tight and glued back underneath. And it's got a rip there, but sort of goes with the state of the bucket, So I'll just give it a good scrub, give it a quick wipe here, and put some armor on it, and it actually cleans up really well. So it just needs a good scrub, and I like that deep button sort of look, old school. So that's the plan anyway. Just blow it apart, paint the chassis, everything that used to be chrome I'll do like a grey aluminium sort of colour, just so it puts it back to how it used to look once upon a time before it got neglected and left to turn to shit. Like I said, I'll leave that motor orange, sort of goes with the flames. But yeah, I'll take some of this shit off it. I'll take all this crap off because it's not really old school looking. I'm going to run this busy. It's an old points one, just because it's not too in your face like these ones here, just a bit big, bulky and ugly, and it's like really close to that file, so I'll just run that points one. Just because I want to. I know points are a hassle and that, but old school looks way better. So yeah, that's the plan. I'll probably run these rocker covers, old Mickey Thompsons, just clean them up. I don't know what manifold, but I'm going to put this, a wind. I don't know whether I'll run that manifold or leave the one that's on that motor. It's got a Torque 2 on it, Edelbrock. This one's a single plane, that one's a, can't remember. Torque 2's dual plane or single, not sure. Single is, it's quite a high manifold, so it's kind of good for like high RPM, which, I don't know the plan for this yet. Depends on what it's like when it's done, what it drives like and that. It'd be cool to take it to old nostalgic sort of drags and, race it, have some fun with it, which they used to do when it was built. Apparently there's photos kicking around of doing big burnouts up at Merrimere Dragway back in the day. So yeah, that's the plan. So yeah, go from one project to another. But this one, it's, you know, a lot closer to being done. A lot easier to get on, you know, on the road sort of thing, usable. It's just sort of basically cleaning it up. This one needs a shitload of work, which I'll still do. I'll sort of be hopping between the two, but yeah, the main thing is get this bucket done. Just because I want to. But yeah, I'll still be doing bits and pieces on this. I started marking it up for a rooftop. Still not 100% committed to it. Don't know whether to chop it or not. Anyway, enough about that. So yeah, anyway, I'll grab some shit and we'll get into this thing, eh? I'll unbolt that bucket, and luckily my son's home, so I'll get him out here and help me to lift it off. And then I can get this chassis up on stands and start blowing it all apart. Alright, enough chit chat. I'll grab some shit and we'll get into it, eh? Right, back again. Get this bucket off. It's just a couple of bolts. I just went to undo this one, and it's got little tabs that are welded to the chassis, with nuts welded to them, and of course, yeah, just broke the nut off the weld. So it's just got a couple of bolts here. I think there's only 4. You can find one here, one here. This is at the back of the bucket, and then in here, down on the floor, there's one there, and one behind the accelerator pedal over there. So I think that's all that's there. I can't find any other ones. Nothing under the seat. So yeah, that's a piece of piss, isn't it? 4 bolts. Just take these off, which are just sitting there. So yeah, anyway, what's in there? That was easy. This one, do the same thing. I'll probably rip the bolt off, the nut off. No, sweet. Alright, so that's them done. Those two out. Over there. And now the back of the bucket should actually be loose. Yeah. I don't know why it's making such horrible fucking noises. No, nothing else at the back there. Alright, so come over here. Same thing. Sweet. It came off really easy. And this one down here on the accelerator, just like that. Yeah, I think, as far as I can work out, there should be everything. Just give it a bit of a. That's it. Fucking 4 bolts. Oh, wow. Okay, anyway. So, now we'll just go around. I've just got these cable tied on here, because it was in a few pieces when it turned up yesterday. So I just cable tied shit just to mock it up, so I can kind of see what's there and what's not. So we will cut these cable ties off. Alright, like that. Pull that out of there. That's that done. you up here for a minute. Gotta take the windscreen out before it falls. Windscreen just sits in there. Pull that out. I'll put this on my safe so it doesn't get smashed. Alright, easy, isn't it? Roll bar, just sitting there. Oh, fucking Jesus. That's easy. Alright, so yeah, bucket's just gonna lift straight off. 4 bolts. Steering wheel, screwdriver out, steering wheel's off. You've lost the shaft that comes off of this rack. This is old Morris Minor rack. Just bolts up under the chassis there. They've lost the shaft that goes on the end here. It's meant to have an extender. It brings the steering wheel up to about that height kind of thing. Yeah, they've lost all that. They said it might be around somewhere. What else? Put a screwdriver down. I don't know why I'm still carrying it around. Radiator can come out. Here we go. Oh, that was hard. Wasn't it? We can go down here. Okay, so I have to get my boy out here and lift this bucket off, and then we can pull that motor out. It's only just sitting there. It wasn't actually in it in the photos when I brought it. Motor and box was all separated and sitting under a bench, so they've just put this in to bring it over on a trailer. Nice guys, dropped it off to me. So yeah, it won't take much, just undo those engine mounts and lift it out. And yeah, I did buy it off a photo because I'm too lazy to get in the car and drive for half an hour, 40 minutes and have a look at something that I know I'm going to buy anyway. So I just looked at the photos. Yep, drop it off, mine. So here it is. Anyway, I'll go grab my boy and I'll lift this bucket off and get back to you. See you shortly. Alright, back again. Got my boy out here. Joel, thanks. Got me lift the bucket off. So here it is over here now. Alright, got the chassis. It's quite a well built chassis, you know. Just needs a good clean up. It looks like now that it's off, there should be more bolts that hold the body on. There's what, 2 in the front, 2 at the back. Looks like there's 2 that go there as well, which makes more sense. Alright, we've got a little shitty remote booster here. The old single pot for the brakes, which is bent and it's actually rusted off, as you can see, so I don't think that's going to hold any fluid anymore. So that needs to be replaced. But hey, we get basic there, eh? The brake peel, there's a rod, there. All the brake lines need to be redone. And typical old school hot rod, everything's just there, you know, it's just flapping around. That one went to the back. Would have had a soft line that went from there into the back of the diff there. And then these ones are just flapping around and pretty poked. That one's alright, looks like copper line. This one's steel line, it's all rusted out. Copper, that one's copper, but look at the state of it. Just hanging down here, drive shaft goes through here, so you know, tidy it up, boys. I'm going to shift the linkage here. I'll which looks like it's had a hard life and been bent and twisted and got all sorts of weird shapes. So anyway, just got the engine hoist under here, jack the front up to get it under. So what's holding it in is just the two engine mounts, so I'll get them off. There's no bolts in the trans mount, so yeah, take those engine mounts off, lift it out, put it over there somewhere, then we'll get this thing up on stands. Oh my god, the old lungs are a bit fucked today, I tell you. And then yeah, we'll get this thing stripped down. So I'll just unbolt this little scoop. There we go, unbolted. Then we'll unbolt the carb, get that out of the way. Oh, how's that? I just had that sitting on there from yesterday. And luckily, these bolts for the body mount that held the body on, the same through as what the motor is. So just run a chain. Put you over here. There we go. Just run a chain over it. Just bolt it to the head. Like that. Clean this out a bit. Come up high so I can get that chain under there. Chuck it in there. Chain on, engine mount bolts. Not that size. Sit down up here. Spandula. Two. Take the weight so you can slide your engine mount bolts out. It's still stuck. Let's do the way, mate. It was a hit. Doesn't want to play the game. So I'm stuck in the bolt. Let's get an old bolt. Throw me in there, triple through. Yeah. And then lift it up. Let's see if I can bring that down a little bit. That up. Set that down. Reposition that chain so it lifts at the back a bit more. So it brings it trims up. A bit higher. You just take all the weight at the front. Why is this tipping over? What the fuck? This is just peanut. Bit of a count. It's way easier to use those lifting plates that bolt on when your car bolts on. They actually lift up nice and even. There's not what this is fucking doing at all. What the fuck? I see. It's catching on me. That's all right. Just pulling up on that piece of exhaust. These pipes used to run out of here, big dump tubes, but it used to run out of exhaust. That bit of pipe still under there and was catching on the chassis. Alright, back then. Just had to take that pipe off. It's got a bit of a, I'll show you. got that on this side, it's still got a bit of a, can you see? Whoop whoop. Or it ran a full exhaust. It's coming up and clipping on the bottom of the chassis there. So, this time, I don't know what's up with this engine noise, but it's fucking tipping over. What's up with this engine noise, but fucking tipping over. Fucking hell. Well, that was a fucking mission. What's up with the engine noise, but it was actually lifting one side and tipping over. So, all the weight was on one side, it wouldn't actually roll. But anyway, blah blah. It's out. Fuck, I'm fucked, I tell you. So now, grab some stands and we'll chuck it up in the air. Tell you what, man. If you smoke, fucking give up. If you don't smoke, don't ever start. Fuck this. Whew. Let's get my breath. Alright, what I might do is I'll drop it back down on the ground again. So the wheel's on the ground. I'll come through and unbolt these arms. And I'll take, well, there's 2 bolts on the front leaf spring in. So the rest are missing. So I'll undo them. And then I'll jack it up. No, I won't. check section on the front end of it, won't we? But we'll jack it up. Got some standing here anyway. Just chuck them there for now. See the jack under that front end. Fucking hell. Sorry, man. Whew. Not as long as I'm what they used to be. Alright. What do we got? Come on. It's just a couple of bolts holding these arms on. They're actually loose, not threaded on there. Like that. A little hammer, so you can just rusty shit, man. Alright. Watch out for Jesse. Don't trip over it or anything like that. Alright. So the bolts out. What's left? It's off. It's off. That's off. What's left is a couple of little bolts on there. Easy as. Of course, what different size? Oh no, it's just one on there. Right, so that's all that holds that on. See? Just a little plate. 4 bolts. There's only 2 that hold it in at the moment. Everything is lost. Alright. Comes out of there. So, we'll get that jack down. The whole front end should just come down. Just like that. Back up in here. over here, to there, over here. It's got a couple of bolts, and a couple of nuts. Hold those rear arms on, drop these shocks down. Alright, and we'll wear the diff out. That little bloody ball joint sort of shit. This one came out, the other one's just spinning inside the joint. So, screwdriver. To actually put pressure on, it's inside there on the bush. There you go. Just got to put a pressure, put a bit of pressure on there, just so it locks that joint in the thing. Alright, so they're off. That was very rusty. CNC. I don't think they're going to be fun to get off. That one came off easy. She's holding that, isn't he? Where the fuck do you get them out? It's taking the pressure off now. Just like I thought. Gonna be a prick. Spin up. Some vice grips on the top there, stop the shaft from spinning. Right, hopefully that'll be enough now. We can just use that impact and just give it a zap. hopefully. Fucking mission. Language, man. Mind your language. Alright. That was easy, wasn't it? Snatch that off. Pull these little springs off here. Something like that. Alright, other side. Right. This one's rusty, man. There we go. There's that one off. Alright. So, we now have careful, man. Chassis out light. Alright, back in a sec, someone's turned up. Alright, back again. Yeah, someone turned up, one of the locals. Called in to borrow some tools. That's what happens when you're one of 3 houses on the road. Not many people. Anyway, but we have bits of a tea bucket everywhere. Alright, so we've got down to nearly a bare chassis anyway. Just got to take these headlight brackets off. Take the brake line that runs through there off. Booster, this rickety old tin can shit, and yeah, then we're done. And I can start just go over it, white brush it and sand it up, clean it up. Looks like it must have been rollers for a handbrake at one stage. Anyway, so yeah, get in and get this stripped down, and see, the chassis is not actually too bad. It's not rusty or anything like that, even though it's set everything else rusted out. It's just a bit of scaly shit on here. So yeah, alright, we'll get into this and get this stripped down. It's just a couple of, what, 3 bolts on each bracket. Alright. Just quickly, yeah, let these off. And rusty bolts, you get stuck in sockets. One bracket, where does that go? That way. What a shame, man. All these brackets, they someone for a lot of time getting all this shit trained. And it just sits here and against the shit. Alright, let's put this up a bit higher. No weight in here, eh? Some of these things are so... Some of these tea buckets are so cool. Just no weight, just all power. What's that? Some bolts there. Brake line. Spray all these brake lines up, and I'll probably make new ones. It's a lot easier to make new ones if you know what you're making. Alright, what do you got? No. Yes. Broke. Doesn't matter. There's that rusty steel line. The first booster's still alright. Good. So that drop down there. There, dickhead. Yeah, this thing was so basic, man. stuck in there for some reason. Lost my handler. Yep. Don't know where that went. Right, remember there's a bolt in there. We have, where's that held on there? Same sort of thing. So there's a bolt going through, which is a size. Starting to run out of room in this garage already. Alright, so little arm there off. Always try and put all the nuts back on there. Nuts and bolts where you can. Makes it a hell of a lot easier when you put it back together. For something like this, there's no rhyme or reason to how shit's done. It's just done. Especially when this was built in what they say, 82 or something. So yeah, a long time ago. Right, the brake line on there. Never gonna get that off. Ever. Might be get a grinder out and grind the got a screw down into the chassis to hold this little T-junction in for the brakes. So I might get in there and cut that off in a minute. But pretty much she's done. Alright, there we go. The bare chassis pretty much. Just got to take transmission mount off. There's brake lines. There's T-junction down here. Someone's put like a flathead screw on there. And she's rusty, man. So I think I'll have to get the grinder out, cut the top off. But yeah, pull the old number plate, pull that off. And get into it and start scrubbing her up. Ready for a paint. So yeah, here we go. Diff, bucket, pile of crap, more pile of crap, motor, box, front end. Alright, so she's all stripped out now. But I'm going to call that quits for today. I've got other shit that I need to do, and our breathing's a bit tough this morning, so going to take a bit of a break. And then yeah, I'll get back out here, I don't know, tomorrow maybe, and start cleaning this chassis up, eh? Alright. I might actually call that a video, eh? So it keeps it nice and short. Alright, basic strip. And next video I'll do will be getting in, cleaning all this shit up. And have to attack this old flapper wheel and wire wheel and shit like that. Try and get all this chrome off. Someone's just welded this little circle on here onto the shocks. That's good. So yeah, I'll call this a video, eh? Keep it nice and short so you don't get too bored. And the next one, yeah, like I said, just clean everything up and get it ready to paint. And then chuck some new bushes and joints in where they needed. Run some new brake lines. Need to get soft lines front and rear. And we'll pull this motor out of this Plymouth over here. Pull that out. I might use that power glide. Yeah, probably will actually. So I've got a drive shaft here for this with power glide end on it. Turbo 350s have got a different spline from what I can remember. So yeah, I think we'll do it that way now. Alright, so enough jibber jabber. That's it. New project in pieces. Cool. So yeah, if you are subscribed, that's awesome for hanging around and watching this shit. If you're not, please do hit like, share, everything else. And until next time, look after yourselves, eh? Have a good one. Chill.